and stuff.
Yes. Well, I have no idea because that's not even my expertise, to tell you the truth.
And the other thing you have to ask yourself is the white line that you see is skull and bone, right?
Right?
And it should be solid.
It
So
should
if
be.
you're seeing like gray patches within the white, well, then that's a problem.
That is a problem. And you have more experience than I do when you're dealing with this because you know what you're looking at. Correct?
Well, I mean, ever since the first one, 2024, 2 years ago in Artemis, I noticed a serpentine shape. And looking back, I looked like it was coming out of the egg. It might have just been sitting on top of the egg, just trying to gnaw its way in. But ever since then, some people didn't believe it, but the same people who didn't believe the tridactyls in general didn't believe it. Now what's kind of funny is that even the believers of the tridactyls aren't necessarily on board with me on this one, despite some of the evidence that I'm trying to, demonstrate to people. Before you got on, I showed how I even just get to this point, because a lot of the times you're just going to be looking at, you see the scans of the bodies or you see the x-rays. What people don't realize is not only do you have to look for these things and zoom in tight, like right here. Now, I don't know if can you even make anything out on this gray shape here? Let's see. And then what you also have to do, notice these sort of like imperfections. I don't know if it's from the scanner, these glass. This shape here, it's so small, you're not even seeing my. Yeah, so I'm just pointing, you can't, oh, there it is. Yeah. You can't really see crap on the screen. But to me, the point is, since I have gotten good at this, I can see that these dark shadows here are in fact the eyes. And again, look at these what are these shapes here? Oh, and here we got cordiform. We have a cordiform shape here. It looks like two black eyes looking up. So what you can do when you find something like that, because that's suspicious as hell. So again, we're looking at the white bone. And so not only there a weird shape there, but that weird shape appears to be like coming out of the ground. In fact, I think you even today asked, is there any, where's the rest of the bodies? And since so many of them seem to be emerging from bone, now what we can do is when we get here, we can play with this setting and we can say, can I bring this guy up more? Can we? Because did that help? I don't think so.
Can you change it into different colors?
Change it into different colors. On this setting, no. But I do try to use the different settings. That's a nice shot right there. So hopefully, again, those at home can see the at least the cordiform shape, the supraorbital arches. It's a very distinct shape, even in nature. Even if some people say, "Oh, well, leaves look like it." Also note too. Oh, look at that. Oh boy. See, of course, I see lots. So now by flipping it over this way,
so that's the thing between the difference between us that have no experience at all and you that have been staring at these things for months and months and
right.
months.
So I've gained a bit. It's like a hunter looking into the woods, seeing like a mile away and say there's a deer over there.
Or a tracker that's tracking a bear. And
exactly.
I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know how to hunt down a bear.
And so at the least what I want to do is tell people, again, it should probably be all white bone like this here and none of this gray intrusions. Each one of these gray intrusions you see has the potential of being a larval form. And you can adjust it, playing with those blacks and those whites, and you can try to eke out.
Easy.
Don't matter if you're black or white. So yeah, man. So I've been looking at the scans or the videos every day, pretty much, for like 3 years. Now look, people on TV land, again, we see bone, but since we're on this soft tissue setting set on gray, Anything that's gray, look at that. Look how suspicious that looks. What the hell's going on there?
I got you.
Anything gray is at the very least requires you to, well, let's zoom in. And I try to move it to the side so, again, you can see these things. But yeah, what else do you have to say, sir? Is there anything you want me to pull up? Is there anything you want me to demonstrate?
No, I'm just looking at these, and these are just incredible.
So also, here's another interesting thing. They might be creating fibrous protein strands, like webs, if you will. And they might be creating within the chambers, the torso and the skull, these like possible even, now I could be wrong. They look strange though, but creating almost like these fibrous possible super highways here. So when you zoom in, there's just this strange conglomerates of flesh. There looks like a head right there. You see? The other weird thing that I'm starting to get now are the proboscis. I have good evidence of that. So they have some sort of feeding orifice that's coming out that looks almost like a trunk or a long frog tongue type thing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one swimming sideways past us. Let's see, probably a couple. There is pareidolia because you'll see an eye of one thing and then you'll see an eye of another thing. And if they hang out next to each other, then it looks like, so over here. And what's the other clue, folks, is to look for those black paired eyes, those black voids. I mean, even like their eyebrows sometimes come up. Also, too, I know it looks digital, right? It looks super digital. But
yeah, because you're looking at a flat surface.
But like even the lower tones should be lighter. So again,
that's as detailed you're gonna be.
Yeah, you can see how deep I go too, right? So it's not like yeah.
I like the way you actually brought in a 3D form, because what we were looking at before was just a flat 2-dimensional form, and we couldn't see
That's true.
the sides. So it was pareidolia like 100%. So I wanted to see what was behind what you were calling eyes. I wanted to see if there was a head and if there was a formation behind those eyes, because if you're looking in the dark and you see two beady eyes, it could be just two seeds or two apples, yeah, it could be anything.
So all this
just dangling around.
I don't know if it was actually part of the creature's body, or if some of this is just like some weird, like protein strands that they're building across the. Now, right here, is this pareidolia, or is it multiple things creating one? Like this is obvious to me. This is totally a head right here. Again, dark, but it's not a very good one. And that's the reason why I keep posting and I keep looking, because I do believe there are photo quality images out there. In fact, let's show that real quick. Let's pull up some what I believe are some photo quality images from the past. While I'm doing that, can you tell us about any of your past or upcoming shows that you do with Rebirth?
We are working on, and we're like on top 50 now with Apple Podcasts on spiritualism. Yeah, I mean we keep growing. Yeah, so I hope you don't hear that.
Well, hear what?
I have this thing speaking into my ears right now, but I have I have this TTS thing that speaks in my computer from inside, that whenever someone's talking to me, it speaks back to me. I do apologize. But we are actually growing in the podcast, and I'm with Tyrone on Rebirth of the Word, and we're currently working on growing our YouTube channels, and it is not an easy thing to grow a YouTube channel. I'll tell you that right now. We're talking about the technical stuff, and we pretty much have given up on YouTube before, and then I told them like we shouldn't give up on YouTube. We need to work on it, and I think that's one of our biggest things. That our hurdle was YouTube. I think we're making some headways on it, where we want to get out there and we want to connect with the masses on YouTube and get that analytics for it. And that's one of the things that we're doing right now. And the beautiful thing about what we're doing with Apple Podcast, and he started it all up, and the combination that we have, and we're about to do something right now, and it's kind of controversial. Is going to be with the Holy Bible and with ancient manuscripts. And did the translators actually get it right the first time? And we're talking about over 6,000 years ago. We're not talking about recent, because remember, the Holy Bible is like recent. So we're talking about the Torah, which is basically what Jesus read. You know, Jesus didn't read the Holy Bible. That came afterwards. So basically, Jesus read the Torah and stuff like that.
So in my opinion, these three here are three of the best faces I've been able to pull out. How would you rate these?
Those do look like eyes. They do. They look good. I like that one. It looks like a little nose, and on the right side, top right, has like a little nubby nose on
this
there.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that beak.
Have you passed that through AI to see if there's a 3D formation? Like yeah. Have you so this is what you do. You take like a geographic map, and you take a picture of it. You take it to AI and say, okay, can you identify this area and tell me the elevation of this area? And then if it can tell you the elevation, then you take your picture of what you have right there and says, okay, with that same assumption of the elevation of that map, can you figure out the elevation of the eyes and the nose of what I took a picture of this, and then see if it could decipher the distance of that itself. You got to have an example first for AI that it can decipher, and then give it the tridactyl that you
What do you want that AI to do?
Okay, so are you listening? So, okay, you take an example first. You take a geographic anomaly. Let's say, for instance, a mountain. And then you show AI, look at the distance of this mountain. You tell me what is the distance of its peak. You tell me what is its height. Then the AI is going to tell you what it assumes, what the distance. If it can't assume, say, give me a hypothetical idea how high this mountain is. And then when it does that, then show it your tridactyl, the sock puppet, and say, now do the same for this, and see if it can do the same. See, you have to give it an example first. See, with AI, you have to ask the right questions. If you don't ask the right questions, AI can't give you the right answers. It can't figure it out. So try and see if the AI can figure out what you're looking at to give you a second perspective. It's like asking a second doctor.
Check out this shape here. This almost looks exactly like the actual tridactyl heads I make, facing downwards.
That looks like a bunny. See the eye on the left and the nose and the ears?
This was an interesting image. I think it's the skull of Sebastian.
Looks like a bullet wound from my criminal justice class. There's a blood splatter.
You can see a lot of the images aren't so hot. So this is an example of the broods I'm finding in the hybrids. So while you might not see the big 3 eggs, there definitely appears to be several elongated serpentine-like larval pupa style.
I can see that. I could see that in there.
And again, this is, even if let's say they're not what I think they are, you still have to ask yourself once again, okay, well, what the hell is that in the body?
What size are these?
I think those are about 1 millimeter, maybe
Ooh,
3
that's
millimeters.
really tiny. Super tiny.
That's the other thing too. Like when people are like, "Oh yeah, nice image," it's like these are millimeters. First of all, other researchers don't even know they're there. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's funny how people treat this subject like it's just another Bigfoot forest picture or another blimp or air balloon in the sky, and they treat the images like it's the same, right? That's the barometer. It's like someone sees this and they're going to compare it to a Bigfoot picture or a UFO picture and say this sucks. But to me, these are clues.
Yeah, I know. I mean, let's see. All right.
Look, do you know what someone actually? You know, if you want to measure, we have the measurement on the.
That's really tiny. I could barely fit my fingers between a millimeter here.
Let's see if we can measure something on Paloma. Okay, let's find a decent looking larval head.
Maybe that's insanely small.
Maybe one that we can all agree upon. So again, look at this bone and note too where the gray fleshy mass comes out of. It's like talk about geographics. This is like a little canyon here. This is a little pothole that has been dug into the bone.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that in itself is evidence, in my opinion, of their. And this here, what you're seeing here, guys, it's almost like it's the glow of like a rounded head right here. It's almost hyper realistic. It's almost photo quality. And on my screen, I could barely make out the two black dots of the eyes. But still, we want a good larva to maybe.
That's the neck and the head, the back of the head right there.
That one looks good.
Right?
Yeah. So here, this looks like, to me, we almost have like a cartoon ready Warner Brothers head right here looking at you. This is what I'm talking about.
Let me ask you something.
Hold on. Do you see this?
Yeah. The brain matter, does it like collapse during all that time, or does it stay, or does it shrink when it mummifies?
Yeah, it shrinks. Of course, yeah.
How much of a shrinkage? Look at that. What am I looking at?
Let me just put it right here. See it, but I have to turn it sideways to get rid of those discs, the circles. Okay, again, remember, we should be looking at mostly bone. What is this gray matter here?
Oh, this is bone.
The white is bone. Anything that's gray is soft tissue or flesh.
The viewers don't know what we're looking at, so we have to explain it like we're explaining it to a 3-year-old.
Right here is a good example of a tridactyl larval head.
Okay.
What this is out of its mouth could be the proboscis. Who knows what?
Okay. So
but
do
we
human
see the
beings
black
have
eyes,
something like that?
No, the proboscis is like a hummingbird tongue or a frog tongue or something.
Oh, so human beings don't have this portion in their.
So how can we prove that this is what I think it is? You know,
do llamas have that?
No, they don't.
No, they don't. So definitely not a llama's head. So I mean,
if you
once again, AI is wrong.
You can double check yourself, right? Whoa.
So AI is completely wrong.
So you can move back and forth. No.
So this is more like a hummingbird's proboscis, which is no other animal has that.
Yeah, or who knows? We might find out that it might be having some sort of invertebrate. So let's just go ahead and measure this anyway. All right, you want to guess how big this particular head is?
That is really cool. I mean, this is wild, everybody. So amazing.
See, this might be its proboscis literally hanging out of its mouth. Now, are they using it to just feed, or is it some sort of insane, I'm really speculating here, some sort of ovipositor, meaning, or do they use that to lay eggs? Wouldn't that be freaky?
That could be a sexual organ.
Yeah.
Could be.
We're not sure. Because
no,
it has.
we don't know. We don't have a
I
live
wanted to ask
specimen.
you. I wanted you to guess. How wide do you think this one is? This is pretty big now. Not like what I was telling you before.
I'm thinking that's going to be an inch and a half.
Inch. How many centimeters is an inch and a half? I don't even know. All right, I'll type it.
You know, my math years are gone.
How many centimeters in an inch? So there's 2.54 centimeters in an inch. You say an inch and a half?
Yeah, I'm going to think real quick. I'm going to do the monkey
Okay,
scratch.
so it says 3.81 centimeters. I'm going to say, I'll bet you it's half of that. It's like going to be 1.5 centimeters. So ready? Let's find out. So I'm going to zoom in nice and close because I feel like that's best to get the accurate.
There's 2.54 centimeters, you said.
And I'm going to go from here. Just past here. Oh, it was actually... No, I was close. Yep. It was 1.25.
And there's 25.4 millimeters in an inch.
I said 1.5. You said 3.81. I was way closer.
Are you? Okay. So
yeah,
it's a
one and a quarter centimeter. Yeah, let's go. Let's zoom out to remind ourselves where we're at. We're in somebody's skull, and what I'm suggesting is that these skulls have these black holes in them with jagged edges from things gnawing on them. You see how it's all those little jagged? Look at it. You can see it's like a video game. It's like looking into a cave. You're looking at the.
That's the brain matter area, right? No, where it shrunk.
No, there's the brain matter. The brain matter is actually this, probably with this white fluffy stuff there. Let me show you that. That's the brain matter. These are black holes in the bone with gray fleshy things coming out of them.
So if you guys are new and you're watching right now, we are looking at a possible alien. But we have determined that this is like a missing link to human existence. These are called tridactyls, 3-fingered, 3-toe beings. They don't have 4 toes. They don't have 5 toes like humans. They got 3 toes and 3 fingers. We don't know how they function with the 3. I mean, birds have certain functionality like it, but most beings have a thumb to grab onto things when they're grabbing with the rest. So it's kind of unusual. That's why people don't believe in these things. So because of those 3 fingers, they don't really believe that without a thumb, because we have thumbs. So there is basically, people are kind of biased against it because since we have it, they'll be like, no, nobody can survive, or it's not believable because we have it. Nobody else can. It can't be believable. Nobody else can survive without one. That's not the truth. You can't be biased against another civilization or another being or another animal just because they don't have what you have. That's awful. You can't tell people what they are or what, or how they were created, just because you have it and they don't. So we have to have an open mind and accept the fact that their survivability became very short. Maybe because they didn't have it. Who knows? Maybe that was the reason why they're not around anymore. We don't know that fact yet.
There's a cool silhouette. Might even have some little arms there. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Look at that guy. You can see his whole face and top head, it looks like. Do you see that?
So how did we get to here already? Because I was talking the whole time. What is this?
This looks like a little dude. Let's add some gray or white to him to bring him out of the dark.
Now, mostly
look at that.
Doctors have access to all of this stuff. Professor Ed Casa has access to this scan. Only professionals have access to these scans pretty much.
Yeah, it was only because of my background in archaeology and that I've made some statements about these things in the past.
This is not some art project. It's not an art project. This is not some...
It's not special effects.
Yeah, he didn't draw this up. This is not his own drawing. This is an actual MRI. These are special scans, and we're going over them. This is a real live specimen. So I want
This
you
is
guys
the
to know that.
specimen Paloma. This looks like there might be multiple tridactyl larvae here, possibly.
Yeah.
You can see the dots again. Follow those paired eyes. Paired eyes isn't about pareidolia. It's about zoning in on little faces. That's the other problem with these. I don't know what you call it. Perhaps people realize in myths you've heard tales of like snakes with the face of women or fish with the face of women. Yep. The pareidolia is strong with these because they have little faces. And depending on the angle, I mean, it can be a little off-putting at times. What do we have here? See this here? This looks like a mass of, it looks like a spawn to me. High density, tiny little white shapes. Yeah, Paloma I'm still kind of new to, so even as we sit through here together, some of this stuff is new to me. After a while, I do start to learn where some of the larvae are.
New to you, new to me too.
Yeah, she's one of the latest ones. We're waiting for Suye. Suye's the insectoid. I can't wait. I almost half expect not to find larvae in Suye, and if that's true, that'll be even weirder, if you hear me out. What would it mean if Suye, the so-called insectoid, doesn't have larvae inside her? If you were to play detective.
Yeah, right? Well,
what would you think that would mean?
I'm not sure at all. I'm just trying to piece it all together.
To me, it could mean that it could be some sort of a queen, and perhaps it lays the eggs for the other specimens to carry.
As a social scientist, I cannot assume, because my degree in social sciences tell me that if I don't have any more evidence that connect with them, we have had this discussion, because these bodies were found and given to the university without the artifacts that come with it. I need clothing. I need the golden artifacts. I need the gold that came with it. I need the writings. I need everything, the language, you know. I need pretty much what their status is. I can't assume those things just by looking at the body itself. I can't assume it. I have to know what if humanity was around them, and at that time they assumed the status of who they were at that time, then I can take a wild guess of what status this one. Then we could guess it out too, because then we could take what you believe, because we're looking at the body, and then maybe they got it wrong back then, and then we could say, well, instead it wasn't a worker, it was a queen. You know what I'm saying? So they could have got it wrong, and they could have called it a worker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have any details explaining if this person or this being, I'm not going to say person because a person is a human being, but this being itself, this tridactyl, we don't have enough social environment, any social evidence that will directly tell me what its job was, what it did, what it taught or educated, or if it lived underground. We assume it did because of the way it's built, like the way the body is constructed. We believe that it lived mostly underwater or inside caves, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it's subterranean, people talk subterranean like they're living in these dry caves. The very fact, if you suggest subterranean, that implies a semi-aquatic existence.
Well, because they have three fingers, it looks like that's great for digging, you know, like going into the ground. So that's why I bring that up.
Trait.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, it reminds me of these what do you call these animals that I have that go after the freaking turnips that I'm growing. what do you
Moles?
call, yeah, moles. You know, they live underground. They're always blind and everything like that. I'm not trying to say these are the exact thing like moles, but you
That's
know,
funny because Marvel's Mole Man, some artists, there is an artist who draws them. They look like little Tridactyls, his minions.
isn't that wild? And this is before Tridactyls came out.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's
Mole
funny
Man
how
was drawn before Tridactyls
funny
were,
how
were
pop
found.
culture is, man. It's like,
Yes.
I wonder sometimes, like, look, I came to a lot of these conclusions after the Tridactyl bodies and doing research. Somehow people knew this stuff already. I'm like, how did you know that? Because I only know it through research, but somehow these strange, like, urban legends seem to be true.
Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful journey in our podcast and stream. Please continue to hit that follow and like button. We really need you to do that so that we can continue to give you such amazing content.
Like, let's talk Tridactyls.
Yeah, we're also on X, guys. If you want to keep up with all the latest information with Professor Ed Casas, he will give you all the details on x.com on Tridactyls. And there's also tridactyls.com. Go to tridactyls.com. And also, if you want to support tridactyls.com, please buy yourself a t-shirt. I am wearing one right now. Check it out.
I don't know if I have a
And you
t-shirt
could get
on my store right now. I think the only thing I have on the store
patches
are hats and the heads right now.
Oh, you're sold out already? That's fantastic.
No, I don't really use this online store that much anymore. I have to like rebuild it, kind of.
Oh, okay.
I'm using Etsy now.
Well, I'm glad I bought it before.
Yeah, I know.
It went out because I bought like four shirts. I bought a polo. I bought 4 different types of shirts. I love them. I really love them. So
I really have to put some work on that store. I don't like doing the store stuff. I'd rather be hunting larvae.
yeah, I mean, you know, you need like a partner to help you out and
Yeah, I need
getting
a
that
retail
store going. Yeah.
retail partner.
You know, Amazon has a partner store. You know that? I mean, you just give them the design and they just do the whole thing for you. Yeah. I'll tell you about it later on.
All right. Sounds good.
You guys loving this show? It's amazing. It's incredible. If you guys have any suggestions or any questions, please hit us up with any questions. We want to know what questions you have. You have any alien questions? You guys want to know if this Tridactyl is just like what's that one that's famous right now that's going around is Bob? Bob is
yeah,
Skinny Bob.
Skinny Bob.
Doesn't it look like Skinny Bob?
Yeah, I mean we haven't seen all of Paloma in a while. Let's bring her back. Let's bring all of Paloma in her glory.
Yeah, but Skinny Bob from that one video is actually a fake video. But then there's another video of a real Skinny Bob that's from the U.S. Air Force. That one looks really real, like super real. You know what? The government, our government, needs to come out with a real live extraterrestrial and say, okay, they're real. Here they are. I mean, that's all we need. We need a real extraterrestrial, and then we could stop.
Well, it's funny you say that. Well, let me ask you. Let me use you as an example. Why does it have to be the U.S. government?
Because that's like the authority. Like, people won't believe it if it's somebody else. They won't. Like, the majority of the world will not believe.
But don't like 50% of at least 50% of the population, maybe even 75%, don't normally believe the government. What's the percentage of people? So what I'm saying is, if people normally say they don't believe the government, why is hoping that the government makes disclosure be our saving grace here?
I think it's not about saving grace. I think if the government is going to fake it, then they become accountable for it. So that's the thing, that it's about accountability. So if they want to try and fake it, then we could hold them accountable for it. That's pretty much what it's about. And if they come out with a real live one, then we could hold them accountable if they're trying to, past a child wearing an alien suit. You know, it looks like some child in a Halloween costume. Yeah, and then we could be like, okay, you know, stop trying to bamboozle everybody, you know, with a fake, you know, Halloween costume alien, like James Franco. Yeah.
That was some weird thing. What was that? Is he all right?
Yes.
People need to check on
He's
him.
mentally lost it. That was the most fakest alien I ever seen in my whole entire life, with those rubber fingers. The fingers were flopping around.
Well, it was like, wasn't it like leaning on the tree like a lazy person?
It was him. It was him. He's showing a video of himself wearing a freaking costume, because he showed a video on a laptop, and nobody, of course, it's none of his friends. His friends don't know if he's showing a real video of an alien, because nobody is in on it except for himself. So it's him wearing a VFX, you know, alien, whatever, and the fingers. Nobody can ever get the hands right. I mean, you got to have an expert to get the you know, if you really want expert fingers, you got to have robotic fingertips, real robotic fingertips that move on their own, if you really want to fake it, because those little rubber fingertips, that's not going to cut it. I mean, you got to spend $100,000 on fingertips. You know, if you really want to fake it so you can make it, you got to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just to fake it. But other than that, those little rubber fingertips, they ain't gonna cut it. And plus, it was 5 fingers, you know, on that alien. I mean, it was an absolute human being. It was a human being. So, and it was so fake. It's real. It's real. I mean, he's an actor, and I don't believe him.
That was one of the weirdest stories, boy.
I know.
It felt kind of disturbing, like there was something wrong with him.
And here we are showing tridactyls, and we're debunking other people.
Oh,
now they're gonna debunk us.
I live in this weird reality right now where it's like, you know, nobody pays attention to this stuff yet.
They believe the actor.
Yet they pay attention to the drama of Lou Elizondo and Grush and Knapp and Corbell and
you know I believe Lou. I believe Lou.
What do you believe about
I
Lou?
believe Lou have had firsthand experience and can't say anything about it. And he just says a bunch of stories. He does say a bunch of stories, though. People are not lying, because they can tell that he's lying, but he's like waiting for the confirmation that he can tell the story. Like he's to me, he's cashing in. He's doing the same thing as Billy Carson. He's cashing in. But Billy Carson doesn't have firsthand experience, you know, like Lou does. So there are people that they're just cashing in and making money. But Lou has firsthand experience. I don't know, man. I just feel he's authentic, but he's lying, you know. And there's a good reason for him to lie, and that's the other thing. He has a reason for it, and he just can't be saying top secret information out to the masses. And that is, how coincidence is that? Oh, he can't tell us. He can't tell us. Oh, top secret. Oh, my goodness. You know, it's so coincidental. Oh, yeah, he can't tell us anything.
Did you catch any of my show from last week?
Yes, I was there. I was watching. Your guest was amazing, dude.
Did you like that emerald skull he had?
That was insane.
That was pretty cool, huh?
That was really cool. If you guys did not catch that, there's a rerun for that. You could go to
you guys haven't had him on your show yet?
In fact, Professor Ed Casa will repost that show after we're off of here. He'll repost that same show from last week and put it back up again. So that way, actually, do you have it posted? Did you pin that show on your on Tridactyl?
I didn't. So I usually go to YouTube and get it from the YouTube.
No, pin it on your X. Pin it on the top so people can catch the guest.
What I'll do is right now, I want to at least take a screenshot of the skull, right?
Yeah. But pin your show on the top so people can all watch it. Always do that for each of your shows. Not this one, of course. I'm nowhere. No one's special. No. But your guest is really special because of what he was showing to everybody else.
Now, did you catch his accent?
Yeah. He's from Norway?
No, I don't think so.
I think he was from Norway. I felt like I was.
I think that was his South African.
Oh, he was South African.
I think. So I'm posting a picture of this this show. Well, any final words? We've been on here for an hour. Probably.
We're getting off. On the 4th of August, Rebirth and we're going to be having a podcast at early in the morning at 10. We are planning a 12-hour podcast marathon. We're gonna try and get this together. We're not doing that on the 4th, but we're trying to get together with back-to-back previous guests. We're gonna have you on there as well. So we're gonna try and roll out. This is gonna be very difficult because hopefully everybody will sign up and we'll have like back-to-back guests. We might just do it as a recording because it's gonna be hard to do a live show and have everybody there. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, okay, you're at 1, you're at 2, you're at 3, you're at 4. It's gonna be so hard to get back-to-back guests without having them sign a contract. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough to do a live show with like 10 guests in a row. And but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Did I say impossible? It's not impossible. It is possible. We could actually do fillers if the person doesn't show up. But I mean, if the guest wants to advertise their books, if they want their fans to be on the show and everything like that, they're gonna show up. You know. But I know my old professor from Miami-Dade College, he'll be there if I ask him to be there. Yeah, we had an interview with my old professor. He was fantastic. He loved it. Dr. Sean Schweiner, he was fantastic. He promoted his book. In fact, if you guys have a book, and you have a book that hasn't been a bestseller or anything like that, but it's a fantastic book, talk to me, talk to Tyrone, and we'll go ahead and have you on our podcast because people want to know who you are and they want to read your book. You know, there's so many books out there, and just, you know, just sometimes people just need a platform to communicate their books out to the masses, and we're that type of people.
So check out that green skull that was on the show last week.
Yeah. There it is, guys. There it is from last week's show. Check that out. That looks like wow, that is just wild.
Exciting, right?
Yeah, that's something different. I can't say what that is. It's definitely not a llama. I'm still gonna harp on people about that, you know. People always.
What happens when these things are finally proven real, or when finally they look and see that they have probably Tridactyl larva dust sitting around their labs now?
You know, people have a hard time trying to prove humans are real. So people think that we live in the Matrix.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to move forward without a shared reality.
And also people are still believing we live on a flat Earth and the moon doesn't even exist. It's a shell. So, I mean, we have so many controversies upon controversies in this world. It's just mind-boggling, you know. So, you know, nobody wants to believe other people or believe that the science is true. How are we going to even believe that? I mean, if they do come out that aliens are real, I think the Earth is going to be split on it no matter what. That's why I said it has to start. It has to begin. There has to be a real live one. It has to come out. I think if the president of the United States comes out with it, stands next to it, and says, "Hey, this is a real live alien," you know, doesn't have to be blonde hair, blue eyes, and tall, like these idiots on X says. Oh, it has to be a Nordic or something. No, you know, just come out with whatever you guys have. You know.
Hey, did you check out this little video I made?
What is this?
Can you hear the audio?
No, I don't hear it.
That's okay.
That's nice. Is this like something that you built for to have? Oh yeah, check that out. That's your helmet and everything. Oh, nice.
It's a restaurant that's on the tarmac.
No way. Is that like a private airfield and everything? That's nice. So you sit at the restaurant and you see airplanes just take off and everything. Nice. And do you hear the airplanes taking off, or you just sit down?
It's quiet, actually.
It's quiet. Nice.
Windows must be super thick. Storm windows, probably.
Yeah. That is good. Well, it has safety measures. You know, you have to have safety and everything. Oh, there's your trike. Nice.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the airport. How fun is that, bro?
Was it really expensive to eat there?
It was you know, it was I wouldn't say it was really expensive. It was a cafe breakfast. It wasn't a diner breakfast. I'll say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
that is nice. That is very nice. So, have you come to terms with yourself if you really did see a UFO in Arizona or not? Have you?
I'm still not convinced on myself because I still haven't, you know, looked at that.
You revisit it. So Professor
all
Ed
I can say is what it
Gasa's-
looked like was something doing this.
Yeah. Okay. So Professor Ed Gasa and I, we went to an event last year, and he was in his hotel room, and he was like focusing on his presentation and tridactyls, and he went off to his balcony in the hotel room, and his balcony faces Camel Mountain in Arizona, in the what's the city we were in? I forgot. Phoenix? Scottsdale, Arizona. Sorry. So Scottsdale, Arizona has Camel Mountain, and we were in a prominent neighborhood. It was really high end, and our hotel is like takes up a whole block, like it's really long, and he got a lucky view. His view was better than mine. So he got to see the Camel Mountain, and it's massive. And it's kind of not very far away, but it's still further away, but you could still see it's huge. And he saw and I didn't get to see it, but he told me, he's like, dude, I just saw a UFO. And he told me. I
was on the phone with when it happened.
But you know, when people see something, if they didn't really see it, they don't tell you about it. But he actually had to tell me. So I really believe that he actually saw one. But he still can't believe it till this day that he actually saw it. But he saw one flying over.
Be like a plane or a helicopter or something. But it was
it happened. And it happened before it got dark. So the sun was going down at the time. And then it landed right in Camel Mountain, which there's no houses barely on Camel Mountain.
Are there any songs about Camel Mountain? Because I feel like it deserves one.
Well, it's a place where people actually walk around, and there's like a climbing area where people go there in the morning, and they do a walkabout in there. They have like a little walking area from the backside of Camel Mountain. But there is a place for a spacecraft to land in Camel Mountain, and nobody will ever know that a spacecraft landed there. So if it came in invisible like that, it can be invisible and land there. But the wow part is that at our event, we had a person that was very alien-like. And everybody seemed very normal. human-like. And then you got your some of your odd people, just like any odd human being that you would ever meet at these events. But this person was super odd. And not only that, I lost time. I talked to this person or being. I'm gonna say being. I talked to this being, and my mind was completely blacked out. I ended up at the front of the hotel, and I lost time. I really lost time. I'm not playing with you guys. I lost time, and I went back to the same spot where I came from, and I went searching for it's a woman, but it could be any sex. And I went looking around, and I found that person in the VIP section, had no badge, had no access to the VIP, and it's just had everybody like completely entranced. And she was there to communicate with a specific individual, and that person, she got to that person. Who knows what that being was trying to impart or put into that person's head. Maybe that person was super important for whatever mission they had. I don't know. I could only assume, because I'm not that being, you know? So I think, because, and I'll tell you why I think that's an alien. I think that's an alien because they came in at that moment, right after he saw the UFO, and they said to me, I don't have time right now. I have to leave right after I do this. And I said, where are you coming from? And he says, I come from Philly, and I have to go back. I'm like, that's so weird. That's so odd to say something like that. Wow. And just to think about it right now, that is so wild. Nobody says that. When you're at an event, you set time aside for that event. It's an expensive event too. So you set time aside for that event, and you spend time with the people around that event. You don't go around saying, I don't have time, I gotta go. And then after that, that person just disappeared altogether. But it was very interesting. And she met with Professor Ed Casas too, right at the table. I actually got her to talk to, and she seemed pretty interested in the Tridactyls.
She did.
Yeah.
It's nice when people are interested.
Yeah. And she probably reinforced your strength on it too, you know, to keep on going with it. You never know. She may have put a seed in you.
Hey, speaking of promotions, so you promoted the Tuesday event. We also have Wednesday. We have...
Yes. Show up at the spaces, everybody, on x.com with Tridactyls. We have the green room on spaces. You don't have to show up. You don't have to see our ugly mugs, our faces. You just go in, click on it. You could be anywhere. You could be mowing the lawn. Just make sure you have your headsets all charged up and way to go, you know, and just listen to our spaces on there. And you can listen in or even participate and share your experiences. If you've seen UFOs or aliens or whatever, you know, you could jump in and talk about pretty much anything. You know, just don't be talking bad and discourage people or anything like that. You know, just there are limits, but just be positive and optimistic.
Yeah, there was one guy who was like going after some particular ethnicity one time. Check it out. Really? This left head here is a cordiform head emerging from Josephina. Once again, you see that big triangular beak. And I thought it looked so much like the Pillars of Hathor, which if you squint your eyes looking at the Pillar of Hathor, you squint your eyes while looking at it, it'll sort of merge into a tridactyl face. In fact, even when you squint your eyes looking at my picture here, your brain does a good job of completing the rest of the image, and it makes it look a little bit more realistic.
You know, this reminds me of Doctor Who. I've been binge watching Doctor Who, and most of these creatures and beings, they actually put them in that sci-fi show. You know, they get these ideas from ancient Egypt and ancient.
Oh well, Von Däniken, right, changed everything, didn't he?
Yeah.
because
Very
he
interesting.
definitely had to affect things. That's why I like the good Star Trek episodes too, when they cover that same thing. One of my favorite episodes is The Chase, where like all the different alien races come to this planet and they realize there was a progenitor race that created them all.
Talking about Star Trek, we got the new Star Trek series, right?
Yeah, I thought you were going to be watching it this year. I thought we were going to be talking about it.
Well, just tell us, is it any good?
It's freaking great. I think they're one of the best crews. He's one of the best captains. It's one of the best looking shows visually.
Is it on Paramount Plus?
It's on Paramount Plus. So
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold out until they have a couple of shows in a row. Then I'll put some money behind it. That way I can see it all.
Makes sense. I did the opposite, and I just paid for the year.
Well, you're a big fan, so you love Star Trek like more than I love it.
Hey, look, somebody's talking here. Who is it? Yo. Sorry I'm late. Okay.
Smokey
Smokerson, 79.95.
Welcome, Smokey. I appreciate you. Smokey is one of my best friends that communicates with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a loyal listener and follower on the podcast. Yeah,
well,
he loves ancient history. Yep, he loves these podcasts. He loves to learn about tridactyls and all different types of mysteries that we uncover around the world. And that's what we do here. We educate people and we try to bring you a different perspective on life. And if you guys do enjoy this, please hit that follow button and like, and also support us.
All right. I think that's a good send off. Live long and prosper. Thank you for coming, Jesus. That's a wrap for this week. We'll do it again.